Hello. I have been away. All over the place. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. I just haven't felt like recording anything, so I haven't had any inspiration since that last time. I don't know when that was. I think it would have been about a month ago. But the past couple days, I feel like really, ever since that hit, I've been like really like all over the place. And they're already here. Hey, hi. Yeah, I've been all over the place with my head and my life, sort of. But I've been trying to figure some things out, and I figured some things out, and I lost track of other things, and I don't know how to explain it. But I'm the Antichrist. I can prove it. I'm just not going to prove it right now if I don't need to. I already know. And actually, that's the last time I'm going to say that too, because I think I say it too much. Weird out. What the fuck am I doing today? I don't know. I was kind of just feeling out. I haven't done this in a while. I really wanted to see if I can get back into the flow of things, because I feel like there's something missing in my day-to-day. And this is probably one of them, because I remember when I was doing this more frequently, it was quite... It was a good experience for me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed this whole concept of some crackpots coming on here to watch me and see what the hell I'm doing. I don't know. They can hear me. So I figured, why the fuck not? Let me hop back on there, because I have nothing to do. I got kicked off of Twitter last night for saying Nignog, which I didn't know was a racist thing, but it was. Oh well. Only 7 days. I'll live. It'll give me time to do other things that I should have been doing anyway. But I like to, I follow my intuition, and I follow my you call them guides, whatever the fuck you want. my guide, my spirit guide is the future version of me. That when I think about where I want to be in the future, I think about the qualities of myself that need to be adjusted, and where I personally need to bring myself. So that person, that person that's in control of everything, that's fully in control of his life, that person comes through to me sometimes and says, do this, do that, do this, do that. And it's usually pretty good fucking sound advice. If you're of the, if you're one of those people that believe that everything happens for a reason, then it makes perfect sense. I follow my intuition. I follow my gut. That's all I do. Just do what I think. If I have the urge to do something, I go do it. If I have the urge to say something, I say it. I try to be as perfectly honest as possible, because as much as people like to say they like honesty, I don't think people really do. Not at all. At all. I think when someone says they like honesty, they're probably the most dishonest person that you're going to meet. That's just my opinion. I don't claim to be honest. I just say what the fuck comes to my mind. And if it's true or not, it's true for me. That's all that really matters. But even still, I mean, that's what I mean by honesty. I don't think people like to really see what it looks like when we take our masks off, because I think they get scared, because they're going to be expected to do the same thing. And that's completely not the case, because people are phonies, people are frauds. And it's not that that's a bad thing. They just don't know any better. You can't blame anybody for not wanting to rip their chest open for you the first time they meet you. Got to work for that. I just have to be one of those gifted people that can do it, because I don't give a fuck who I'm talking to. And I'm not always completely. I'm not going to tell you I beat the crap out of my son when he was a baby, but I'm going to at least be honest enough to at least be who I think is appropriate for the moment that I'm with whomever I'm with, even if it is just by myself, or just if that person's really there. If you're really a person there, hi, how you doing? So what got me all like flustered today? So the past, oh my God, so much stuff has been going on. I'm trying a new tactic in life where And if you've been following this little drama of mine that's been going on for the past several months, almost a year, you probably have a very good idea of where I've been, what I'm doing, why I am the way I am, and where I'm trying to go with things. And after that last ordeal where I met that lawyer whose feet I was rubbing, that was kind of like a turning point for me in a lot of ways, because I'm not a little bit about me. I was married prior to this, prior to this mental state. I was married for going on 9 years. I think it's almost 10 years. This year probably I think would have been 10. I think, right? 30. Yeah. This year I think would be 10 years. A long time. And we had a kid, we had a house, we had all the career usual shit, money. And one day, I had an awakening. I tried to quit drinking. Drinking was my thing. Drinking and pot. And pretty much any drug that you would put in front of my face. It's just that I didn't have access to all the drugs. But in the case that, like, if we were, and you're like, oh man, I got some crack. You want to smoke some crack? Yeah, I'm gonna smoke some crack with you. I'm not gonna call you consistently for the crack because I don't believe in addiction. The only person that allows themselves to be addicted to anything is yourself. And I know that you're only as addicted to whatever it is that you're addicted to for as long as you allow yourself to be addicted to it. For me, for instance, I'm addicted to misery. I'm addicted to negativity. Why am I addicted to negativity? Because it's fucking delicious. I love it. I love it so much. It's like a drug for me. Let me explain. People like to talk about toxic people, and it's not a coincidence. That is actually my name. Derek is just my human name, and at this point, I'm human in name only. I don't associate with you fucking monkeys, you primates. You're a whole different breed for me. For now, eventually that's changing now, but that's neither here nor there. I like toxic energy because, and allow me to explain that better. Is I'm in what people would call an empath. I'm empathic. I'm very sensitive to the energies of other people. What does that mean? Is I can feel things. I can feel emotions that other people like to ignore. I mean, you may be feeling it. I'm also feeling it at the same time that you are. I understand, because there's actually universal laws that govern all this shit. There's the people that we interact with are literally mirrors of ourselves. Yeah, their faces are different and their lifestyles are different, but realistically, when you break down what they're telling you, the experience that you're having with somebody, it's in a way a guide to show you a little bit about who you are. For instance, you may bump into somebody who really rubs you the fucking wrong way. They might like to point out your flaws, what you consider your flaws. What you consider your flaws. They point out what you consider your flaws. So, for instance, someone might be like, "Oh man, you need to go get a job," or "No, you need to go get a job." But you know why you don't have a job, but it pisses you off anyway, because it's like, well, fuck, motherfucker. If you knew what I was doing, then you would know not to tell me that I need a job, because I already fucking know I need a job, but I don't want to work any particular job. I want to work the job that I want to work. But unfortunately, those don't exist, so I have to make it. Personal, wasn't it? So I can't imagine many people would relate to that. That's my situation. So when what I was saying was, I like that negative energy input. We call it negative. I only call it negative. I don't mean negative as in good or bad. I don't believe anything is good or bad. Because there is no such thing. Good is considered evil to the evildoer who considers himself a good guy. You can use that, by the way, but it's mine. I own the intellectual property on it, but I give it up for free. Like the guy who invented polio, the polio vaccine, just gave it away. No trademarks. I don't believe in that shit. You're never going to do it as good as me, and so please feel free. Because no one's going to ever do or say the things that I do or say as good as I do or say them. And if they do, good for them. They deserve it better. They deserve it more than me. I'm just the messenger, I guess. Maybe it's weird. So during my journey, after my marriage failed and all this other shit, I was studying the occult. I was studying esotericism, tarot cards, astrology, alchemy, all this other fucking shit. But you can go back to my history and go look at all the stuff that I love talking about. And what those practices had taught me was called transmuting energy. And what that it means is usually when people throw shit at us, oh, you need to get a job, but you're pissed off. What, you motherfucker? You don't listen to me ever. Maybe now you're going to tell me what I already fucking know? Who the fuck are you to fucking tell me this shit, you piece of shit? See, it's the opposite of doing that. Because normally that's what we want to do. That's how we want to react at somebody. But what I've learned to do is to take that in, take in what they're saying, take in their energy, and, oh, okay, you're right. Yes, you're absolutely right. That is what I have to do. But luckily I thought about that already, and I'm working on it. Thank you for your suggestion. Simple. It's keeping you cool. It's learning how to keep your cool in rough situations. And listen, ain't nobody perfect. Everybody's gonna fucking lose their shit at one point or another. And who knows? Maybe everybody was only losing their shit because I was losing my shit. This is quite possible. But over my time in studying these arts, because they are an art, believe it or not, they are an art. How you want to define that's up to you. I'd love to go into greater detail on them, and I do love talking about what I do, which is all mental. It's all mental. It's the whole thing. You could say I'm a psychic healer. That's exactly what I do. I do psychic healing. What the fuck does that mean? Is I use my mind, my psychic abilities to think, and when I talk to you, I tell you what I think, and it's up to you to realize that it's right or not. Not even that it's right or wrong. It's more of what does it mean to you. The words don't mean shit. I'm just telling you what I think. It's what images are invoked in your mind that's really the important thing, because to each individual, it doesn't matter what anybody else says or does or thinks or what they want from us or anything else. It's all dependent on you. And I think in a sense, everybody knows that. I think a lot of this is like common sense stuff, but I like to say it because I don't think a lot of people say it. I don't think enough people say it, and a lot of us we get caught up in this hamster wheel of patterns and cycles, but we don't ever really take the time to look at what it is that we're doing to perpetuate these patterns and cycles to begin with. And that's where I started to change with my life, was I wanted to find the patterns and the cycles and what I was doing and why these cycles and patterns were there in the first place. And a really big help was with these cards, and people who are skeptical about them are more than likely to go, what? Come on with that bullshit. Cards are make-believe. No, the cards are actually real. They're a physical thing I'm holding. And the way they work is not the way that most people would imagine. I don't know what people think. Most skeptics have never actually explained to me what they think. They just tell me what they know, and what they know isn't real. Because they don't really know anything. Because in order to truly know something, you need to explore it. And if you don't explore something, how are you supposed to know it? And if you don't explore it and you don't know it, then why the hell are you even bother talking about it? Mathematical probability, yes. And generalization, yes. Those are all aspects of how these work. There's 60, well, at least in this particular deck, there are 68 cards. So there's a 1 in 68 chance that whatever card's going to come out is going to come out. But because everything happens for a reason, that one card that's going to come out is the card that whomever is reading them, translating them, needs to see to tell you the things that you need to know. Now, whether it's up to you whether or not you want to know it or want to accept it. So for example, let's say, sometimes they pop out. That's usually a good sign. Oh, I love this guy. So this guy that popped out is Agaris. Agaris. He's a ass. Hard sitting. This guy, he was once an angel, as all demons all started out as angels. He was one of the virtues. And what the virtues did was the virtues were in control of, amongst other things, the most notable thing they are known for, as far as I'm concerned, from my knowledge, is they are the ones who keep the solar system in balance, all the planets moving in the right direction at the speed that they're supposed to be going to. Think of it like gravity, what we consider gravity, or whatever force you believe is what controls everything. That's what these guys were kind of in charge of, the virtues. But when Agarus fell from grace, became a demon, he didn't become like all the other ones. He was actually kind of a nice guy, and he's kind of helpful, though he does run with the legions of hell in their eternal quest for domination. What this guy is known for is actually he's similar to what we consider the law of attraction, and the opposite of the law of attraction, which is, I don't know what that is. What do you call that? Destruction, the law of destruction. Things come to us when they're attracted to us, or we break things down to make way for new things to come to us. So he kind of is a representation of both of those things, in that through his art, his magic, his skill set, he is a master tracker. He's mastered the art of bringing things to him that are needed and pushing away things that are no longer needed. And then that's exactly the qualities that we would put into what we call the law of attraction, which is an interesting notion. And this doesn't always necessarily relate to the law of attraction. What this guy represents is someone, and one part of his backstory, let me get into a little more of his backstory, is that he is known for finding the rabble rousers, people who escape from the armies of hell, the deserters, prisoners who are lost in the woods, or people who just get lost, people who are on their path, and he helps bring them home, brings them, guides them back to where they should be, if that makes sense, if that's making any sense to you. It all depends on how you want to interpret this. I mean, if you want to look at the book, which I bring with me, just in case, because I don't know all of them. There's a lot of fucking cards here. I have about 7 decks of cards, and all of them are different, and it's a lot to fit up here, besides with all the other stuff I do. So aggro, divination, focus on direction and guidance, bringing allies and helpful items closer, pushing enemies and destructive influences away. So yeah, it's basically what it is. And going along with his backstory of how he is a guide and he is also one who brings people together, this is that's a pretty good, accurate representation of what he says. And now, when you think of that, because you're obviously here, and so you're hearing me talk about this thing, so the art of actually reading this card is me telling you what it means, but then you taking in that information of what I just said, processing it in your own way, because it's making you think of something. Because you know what I'm talking about, because the fact that this is about bringing the good in and pushing the bad aside. And remember what I said about good and bad. There is no such thing as good or bad. Good is considered evil to the evildoer who considers himself a good guy. So good and bad are just subjective to the end user who's going to be categorizing whatever situations that you're thinking of into what we believe is good or what we believe is bad. And my good is not your bad, and your bad is not my good, and vice versa. So what I mean is, so when you get your cards done, or you learn to read cards, because it's very simple to do. You don't need anyone to do it. I think a lot of people get this real bad understanding that someone else needs to do it for you. And maybe that's what the skeptics really know, is that the only person who's really going to do this for you is you. I mean, you can go to a tarot reader, and they're fucking great. I love tarot readers. They're my favorite. I love getting my cards read. I haven't had it done in a long time by a real professional. I would love to. And thanks for whoever donates the money to me to do that. I prefer to do it myself. Well, then I don't prefer to do it myself because they're 2 completely different experiences. So what happens with this is, and I'll explain. how I was saying, how what I'm saying about the card is supposed to invoke thoughts and ideas in your head, which is then going to make you start thinking about some shit that you haven't thought about, and then you'll start looking for the guidance on your own. Because ultimately, I can't tell you anything. No one can tell you anything. The only person that can actually tell you anything is you, because you are your judge, you are your jury, you are your executioner. So it's up to you to figure out exactly what this card means to you. You know what I mean? So Agorist, and this, like I said, this is about bringing things in and pushing things out. He's also a guide, so I don't like to. In my private time, I do go and do healing work out in the field, and what that means is I just fucking walk around. I meet people and I talk to them. I go to places where people don't normally like to go, the scary places, and I like to talk with what would be considered the lower aspect of society, because I think those people are a little more real. They're a little more genuine than people I see out in suburbia or any other place that's a proper society. I think those people are usually the fakest and the worst dregs that are around. But that's just me. And you know what? That's kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm working on this project where I really want to sell myself in such a way where that everyone knows me, because everyone should know me. I believe that everyone should know me, because I have something to offer for everybody. And what is it? Guidance, and or you know what? Even just a fucking ear, saying the things that you already know, but you're just waiting for somebody else to say it because no one else is saying it. That type of stuff. And I just had this interaction. Was it last night or the night before? I went out for a walk, and like I said, I like to go out to the shady part of town and just kind of hang out there, see what happens, see if I bump into anybody, see if I meet anybody, do whatever. Doesn't really give a fuck. It's actually just kind of fun. And it was kind of slow. There was nothing going on, so I decided to walk back home. And on my way back, I bumped into this guy who was just hanging on this overpass, smoking some crack. And I asked him if he minded if I borrowed a cigarette from him. And we shared a cigarette. I didn't smoke any crack with him. I had my fill of it. I don't really care for it too much. I mean, it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's indifferent. I'd rather smoke some pot. Yeah, have some nice alcoholic beverage, but really, I don't even fuck with that stuff too much. Try not to. That's totally true. I do love pot. I love pot a lot. Alcohol's meh, but I prefer pot. But anyway, so I was talking to this guy, and we had this really amazing conversation. It turned into this very deep, intellectual, spiritual conversation that I have a lot. It's just the nature of me, where my metaphysical, spiritual, religious, philosophical, scientific ideas all kind of that's all I want to talk about. I don't really care for small talk too much, only for the fact that it's okay as an icebreaker. I don't even like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like asking how your day was or because I know the answer. Your day sucked. It's all right. So did mine. Well, I mean, it sucked as much as you want it to suck. I mean, going to work every day, that's not fun. I mean, yeah, you might like your job. Nobody says nobody likes their job. I don't believe people like their job. I just think that we get ourselves so consumed with this shit, like money and bills. You get yourself trapped. You get trapped into this system that everybody is just moving along in, not really knowing where they're going and just going with the flow because they realize that that's the best that they're going to get for right now. And in a sense, I'm one of those people. I'm very ambitious. I like to move. I like to do things, and I get hasty a lot. Very hasty. And I don't know if I bite myself in the ass with the things that I do. But I feel like following my intuition has been one of the best ideas I've ever had, because I feel much clearer. I feel that I can do things that other people can't. For instance, the cards. Like I was saying before, and I think I'm kind of taking a round the world approach with this. Is the way I see this card is now knowing what it means. It's invoking images in my mind, like what do I want in my life, what do I not want in my life. And that's a really important thing for all of us, is when you're looking for your dream, you're following your dream, you want to follow you're following your fucking dream because you're doing what you want to be doing. Like me, I do exactly what I want to be doing. I talk to myself and whoever listens on the internet. I read cards. I study esoteric science, and I fucking live an amazing life. I go out and I meet people constantly. I have very deep connections with people that I meet very briefly. It's actually pretty amazing how the depth of which you can channel in someone that you've never met before. But for some reason, someone that you've known all your life, you can't even get a goddamn word out of them. It's really interesting, but let that be a testament, and that's a sure sign of what do I not want in my life? What do I want in my life? I want a life with very deep connections with interesting people. But granted, I would prefer a small number of those deep connections, but instead, the way that my life is kind of going is I'm having more deep connections with a multitude of people and not as deep connections with a small amount of people, which it just turns out that the small amount of people are the ones that are closest to me and the large amount of people are the ones that are not. I have no idea who the fuck these people are, but they're all fantastic people. For instance, Ali, the gentleman I was just talking about, who I met the other night, great guy. So what do I not want in my life? What do I not want? I don't want those shitty connections. I don't want them. I want those deep ones. But with anything in the universe and the law of attraction, you don't get what you want, you get what you need. And right now, I suppose, and you know what, I think that's actually a really good point, is that those few smaller connections are going to lead towards deeper connections with those people. And I see that. I mean, that's pretty fucking obvious. I mean, you can only open yourself up so much before everyone around you starts to also open up. And like I said, I'm a very open person. I'd like to be vulnerable. It's difficult. It's incredibly difficult to be honest and open and to say what's on your mind because you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. But then again, I was actually saying this to my mother the other day. Who the fuck am I to judge? Who am I to say that what you're ready and not ready to hear? You might not be as much of a fucking tender angel as I think you are, but neither am I. And know that even if I don't react the way that you want, I don't think I'm going to react the way that you're thinking, and vice versa. I had this experience yesterday with my mother. I thought we got to like a little bit of a heated argument, and I really thought that we were going to fucking go toe to toe for a minute because I know I got heated. I got really heated. But I think it's also by the way that she talks. She talks in a very aggressive manner, which to some I think comes off as an attack. And I felt it even when we were having the conversation, because even though I'm talking and she's talking and I'm listening and we're going back and forth, my brain's also processing what's going on. There's an emotional quality to the interaction that I'm able to catch myself and go, oh, hey, cool it down. Pay attention to what she's saying. Stop getting so heated, and from there work myself back down. And by working myself down, working the conversation down, and we're both getting back to a cool place. And it's a sense of control. By having control of your own emotions, you can then control the emotions of other people when you speak to them, because you know where you want to go with the conversation, so you can make it go here or there. And this actually is because we have degrees of involvement. And I'm actually reading a book by the Wolf of Wall Street guy, Jordan Belfort, about sales. Because I have an interesting way of looking at things, where I can see the surface level value of it, but doing the cards that really was pertinent to me was that it taught me how to use the creative aspect of my mind to think, and to think more clearly and more freely. And that was done by looking at the shit that was going on in my life. And not that there's not shit, that we always have shit going on in our lives, unless you sit in a fucking, not a bad idea, unless you sit in the basement and just clear out all the shit that's going on in your life. That's a really good idea. And maybe that's what I'm going to do for the next couple of days. You actually gave me a really good idea. I might move down here so that I can decompress everything out of me onto here, so that when I go back into the real world, I'll have a fresh slate. If that makes sense. A fresh open mind that doesn't have anything clogging it up. Because like I said, I'm kicked off of Twitter, so I can't really waste any time on there. And if I'm rambling around, you can piss off. I need to talk. It's how I express my energy. It's how I get the energy out of me. And it's how I make room for new information. One of the reasons I do this is not for the entertainment value for others, because I don't really care if you're entertained. I don't care if you're enjoying what I'm saying. I know you are. But it's also a lot, because I don't have anyone, I'm not talking to anybody, so there's no back and forth. So obviously there's things I'm going to say that are going to piss you off and you're going to fucking click off. That's why I don't have many viewers. That's fine. I don't need viewers. I'm the viewer. It's me. And I'm also the entertainer, so I'm entertaining myself. And in doing so, but also what I'm doing is I'm processing my own bullshit. So as I'm talking about all the things that I know, I'm listening to what I'm saying, and then I'm going, that sounds like shit. Let's reword that. Let's rephrase that. Let's work this out a little bit differently. And so it's kind of like a self-sustaining filtering process for yourself. I described this in one of my earlier videos as like almost an alchemical process, in that when we talk to people, we take in what they say, we process the information, and then we go, okay, well, what that their system of belief, their values right there, what aspects of that can I take out and utilize for myself? Because that's really what human interactions ultimately all about. It's not about asking you knowing how good your day was, because ultimately at the end of the day, no one cares how your day was. No one cares except for you, and you don't really even care what other people think. But there's something in what you said to that person when they said, "Oh, how was your day?" and you tell them that they needed to hear about their own lives. That if I ask you how you're doing and you let me know, there is something that I need to know about myself based on your experience. So if you're really there and you really want to play interactive right now, how was your day? Just give me like a brief synopsis of what your day was, and then we'll play this little game. I'll see if there's anything that I can get out of it, anything that I personally need, and then I'll let you know how my day was, and then we'll see if we can learn from each other. If you actually feel like playing along. I mean, there's only two of you, and one of you hasn't been talking for about half hour. I don't know what this other person is. So in the meantime, I'm going to pull another card, which is the Lamia card, to show you a little bit more about how this happens. Because I know I need to see these things just as much as anybody else, because I am so talented at doing this. I know that there are aspects of my life that I need to address mentally and verbally, that are on these cards. Not just the images, but the actual meanings behind them, because the image is something. Yeah, no, you can see the image. What is it? It's a lady, some witchy-looking lady. It looks like she's pulling a corpse out of the ground. And that's exactly what it is. This is Lamia. She's actually pulling that corpse out to eat it, because that's what she does when she's hungry. She eats dead people. And the reason she does that is because in the ancient Greek mythologies, I think it's Greek, yeah, Lamia was one of the most beautiful women in all Greece. And all the men wanted to make love to her and marry her. And Hera, the wife of Zeus, was very jealous of Lamia. So what she did was she put a curse on her and made her very ugly and disformed and disfigured. And this broke Lamia's heart. She couldn't take it, becoming this monster, this beast that she was. She used to be so pretty and all the men wanted her. Now she was stuck alone, this witch in the woods. She started eating corpses. The hell was that? It was like a tickle in my throat. It came out of nowhere. Ugh, could be cancer. That was weird. So Lamia is, and she spent the rest of her days as this bitter old, broken down woman who just was, how do you say it? How do you say? She couldn't get over the pain. She couldn't get over the why me, poor me, the victim. So what did she do? She became this corpse eater, child torturer. I don't know if she tortured children. She scared the shit out of the kids. And what aspects of ourselves can we find in Lamia? Where are we a victim? Where have we been wronged by someone else? And perfect example. I was I went to this woman who is a local business owner. I mean, not terribly local, but she's close enough. But she's a Reiki healer. She's having a Reiki class, Reiki training. And now, granted, as I mentioned before, I'm a psychic healer, and I do all I do Reiki. I do intuitive healing, intuitive reading, intuitive whatever the fuck you want to call it. All the healing. You want all the healing? I'll give you all the healing. And I'm probably the best healer in the world. I would go so far as to say, because from all the healers that I met a lot, and they're all talented in their own ways. And really, it's not even healing; it's just being yourself. That's all it is. This idea of healing, there's no healing going on. You're just growing up. You're acting like an adult for the first time in your life, and you're speaking the words that you know and feel to be true about yourself and the people around you. And it doesn't mean that you're always right, but right and wrong are it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what wrong is, because there is no wrong. My mother said something to me today. Go take a walk and figure out what you're doing wrong. And as I'm walking, I thought, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing exactly what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing. I'm doing what I need to be doing. Because if I didn't need to be doing this, I wouldn't be doing it. Simple as that. Very simple. So going back to that, what do I need to be doing? I need to be fucking explaining how this card relates to me. And what I did was I went to this woman, and I reached out to her, and I said that I'm a very talented healer. I have an incredible amount of gifts. I'm incredibly talented. I'm not shy. I'm a narcissist. I'm a self-proclaimed narcissist because I don't feel that we have enough voice in the world. We are completely undervalued, and we have a gift. We have an incredible gift to offer everyone else, and that gift is to, here's the mirror. Look, you're a narcissist too. You just don't want to admit it because someone told you it's a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing. To put yourself, self-love. No, I don't think people appreciate what self-love really is as much as they should. The act of self-love is putting yourself above everyone else, and that's what I do. I put myself above everybody because that's what I believe. That's what I serve. I put enough time into other people's lives where, fuck it, I ain't got time to worry about nobody else but me. I'm the only person that I really need to impress in my life. I'm the only person I want to impress, and that's why I do this shit. I mean, people are going to come and go out of this chat room, or not even in a chat, but to come watch me. It doesn't matter. It's like putting on a little show. It's a little one-man act that I like to do. And what does that have to do with anything? It's a little one-man to get some of the emotional blocks out of me, because I don't believe that I need to go and fucking yell at everybody that fucking wronged me. Because I'm a big boy, and I know that I did whatever I did to piss them off or make them act the way that they did, and that's it. I don't need to apologize. I don't need to get an apology, because I have this. I can voice myself. I can express myself in a way that other people can't, unfortunately, because not everyone can do this. This is very difficult to do. I mean, if you go back to some of my other videos, like I had to get high and drunk just to get myself to a point where I can admit certain things, because it's hard. It's hard to confess these crimes and sins that we've committed against the people that we love and the people that we care about. For instance, I keep on stealing my brother's pot pen and smoking it. Smoke the shit out of that thing. I go through his shit and I put on a new cartridge and I smoked his pot. I took his book and I was reading his book while I was high. And you know what? It was probably one of the best ideas I ever had. I don't feel bad about it because I didn't do anything wrong. Why don't I think I did? It's just sitting there waiting for somebody to smoke it. And at the time, I like to smoke pot because it expands my conscious awareness, which allows me to think in more unique and abstract ways that sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes I wouldn't if I was not under the influence. And I feel that sometimes like pot, alcohol, any kind of drugs, they're really accelerants. They're accelerants to whatever conscious awakening that we come to. My personal awakening, I feel, is far more advanced than most people because I don't see anybody who can do what I can do. I don't see anybody who's like me. And actually, there is one person which I have to reach out to. He did want to work with me, I think, but he's probably pissed off because I haven't gotten back to him in a couple of days. These people want everything now. Sorry, motherfucker. I got a lot of things I got to do. Got a lot of people I got to talk to, and most of all, myself. I wish a lot of time talking to other people, but how often do we ever take the opportunity to come and talk to ourselves? I mean, if you go back in my videos, you can see there's times I talk to myself for about 8-10 hours straight. Ain't no thing. I can do that all day. Sometimes I want to go do other things. I get this urge to go do stuff, but I don't really think I need to do that anymore because I'm the greatest teacher that I'm ever going to have. No one's going to teach you anything better than yourself. And that being said, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to learn sales. So what the fuck? Give me money. Give me money because I need it. How about that? Okay, that's not the best sales pitch. So how do you change that? I don't know. Why do I just got like really annoyed. I want to like turn this thing off. Why? I lost train of thought. I brought money up because I fucking hate money. Why do I hate money? I hate money because I don't have any. I've learned to live without it. To survive without it. Well, no, I haven't really. I mean, I haven't really lived on the street that long. Right? Where can I go? I live by Atlantic City, so I mean, I can go live in the on the streets of Atlantic City, go to the homeless shelter again, which I've been there, and just see what happens. Like what people would going to visit LA so I can walk around the slums and smoke crack with fucking crackheads on the street. That's crazy. Putting my life in danger to just to have an experience like that. It's crazy. It's incredibly insane, and I wouldn't suggest anybody doing anything like what I do because it's stupid. It's stupid if you don't want to get killed. I just don't believe that I can be killed. I don't believe I can die, but that's just me. You don't have to believe that. You can believe I'm going to die. You can believe anything you want, but I'm not limiting myself to sink to your level, which is human. Like I said, I'm human in name only. I don't understand you people. I don't understand why. Not even standing here, just kind of with my thumb up my head. Hey, here you are, ready to go. But I don't think everybody's going to be at the same level as me, which is fine because I don't need anybody to be. I don't think. God damn it, I hope not. And I'm just thinking about my life. Certain aspects I don't really care for. And having a partner. And right now I'm my only partner. There's only so much I can do for myself. But what am I supposed to do? I mean, whose fault is that? It's my own. I mean, nobody cursed me. I mean, I guess the universe cursed me. The universe cursed me with this fucking gift, which I fucking hate. Can't stand it. I hate being able to see things. I hate being able to read people. I hate being able to know things before they happen. I hate all of it. It sucks. It sucks. You're a freak. Nobody appreciates it for what it's worth, and it's fucking awesome. It's really awesome, the things that I can do. I'm actually, at some point, I do honestly know that I'm going to be able to move things with my mind more so than I already do. I know because I can move things with my mind, just not the way that people think, not in the way that we would normally associate that concept of like telekinesis, where I would pick up my phone, float over to me. No, I can't do that just yet. I believe it's possible. I know it's possible. I know. So because I know telepathy is possible. I've done it. I've experienced it. I've experienced it many times. Many times. And many of those times were, and quite a few of those times, not many, but quite a few of those times were controlled, under controlled circumstances. So I know it's there. I know it's possible because I've done it. I haven't moved anything with my mind yet because I don't know how to do that. It's a block. I mean, it's probably a good thing I don't know how, because if I knew how to move things with my mind, then I would probably be force joking everybody that I know. Frustration. I don't think that's a very healthy skill for me to have. But it's something I want to bring into my life at some point because I think it's fascinating. I think that the potential of the human consciousness is unlimited. I think that we can do so much more than what we tell ourselves that we can do, and then what we're told that we can do. Because ultimately, I think we're told certain things, and then eventually being told those things enough times, they become a reality. And once it becomes a reality, then that's all we know. And then we start pushing that reality on other people. But I'm one of those people. I'm the anomaly. The programming just doesn't take. It never took, which fucking sucks. It's a very lonely process. You want to know what my life is like? Go watch the fucking Matrix. Do you have any idea how shitty Neo's life probably was? He was lucky he had Trinity. Probably before her, he probably was banging his head against the goddamn wall every single fucking day. It's a miserable life. It really is, and it sucks. It sucks to be alone because that's all you want. You're alone. I mean, the only people that you have are the voices in your head, which are the people that you know, and the people that were once alive and aren't alive anymore. I mean, those are the people that live inside my head, and on top of me. I mean, I know, and what I mean by that is like I know the people that I know, and by knowing them, I know what they would say to certain things that I do and say and act. I hear them. I hear them try to bring me down. I hear them try to bolster me up. I hear them everywhere in between. But that's my company, because I can get a realer conversation out of the imaginary version of you than I can with the real version of you, which fucking sucks, because it see, and that's where like my intuition and my how do you call it? How do you say that? Impulsiveness? Would I call it impulsiveness? Some people would. I mean, I am what you would consider impulsive. I just do. I do whatever the fuck comes to my mind as soon as it does. Like this. It's hopped on here. Like every single one of the videos that are on my channel, it just, oh, I needed to do something. I needed to say something. I needed to feel something. And even if you go on my Twitter, Toxic66, same as this, same spelling. Spelling's important. Dramatic. That's why it's called spelling. Even on there, I very impulsive. I say some weird shit. I don't say anything weird. I just say what comes to my mind. I just say what feels right, and that's what I thought we were all supposed to do, right? Is be honest and be truthful and be open. I mean, I have in the spiritual Twitter community, I have some friends, and those people are fucking phony as hell. Those fucks. You'd be surprised. All these people, love thyself, love yourself, have the healing powers, all this fucking shit. Those people are the biggest fucking frauds. There's this one chick who I was talking to. Like, she's not even like kind of medium cute. She does these videos sometimes, and I try to be nice because what I like to do is I like to create out of nothing. What that means is, like, I'll go onto Twitter and I'll see people's posts, and what I do is I read between the lines and I allow myself to really feel what I think it means. And I usually write these people like 500 to 1,000 word essay on just the thoughts that are triggered by their post. It's kind of almost like free writing, but free writing with intent, with the intention of creating something for the person in question. I look at it like almost like the law of exchange, in where most people, they do their little posts and they hope that people like just, oh, yeah, you're so smart. I tell the truth. If I think you're bullshit, I'll tell you you're bullshit. If I think you think that you're leaving something out, I'll tell you whatever the fuck comes to my mind. Doesn't mean that I'm right. I usually piss a lot of people off. Like, that's why I got kicked off for a week, is because I said nigga, because a black person told me that Ching Chang is a racist slur towards Asians. And I said, well, Ching Chang, I mean, it's no different than calling an Asian, because you're calling an Asian because you don't want to take the time to figure out the difference between the different facial characteristics, skin tones, dialects. So you lump all Asian people into an Asian category because they all look the same, right? So what the fuck's the difference between me calling Ching Chang? Who gives a shit? You want to get offended because it has Ching Chang? Those are two Chinese names. The Asian name, fucking in some Oriental fucking language, Ching and Chang. It just sounds funny. It's goofy. You got fucking black people call me Mayo Man. Come on. So I said Ding Dong. Then they kicked me off. Unbelievable, right? I think it's stupid. I'm not opposed to the word nigger either. I think that we try to, and that's something that else has been coming up. I've been noticing that a lot lately. Like these random tweets of people going, "Don't say the N word." Why? You just did. You just did. I know what you meant. You meant nigger, and you just don't say the N word. Why would you even say that? Why even bring it and put it into people's minds? And then black people go, "Don't say Ching Chang." Why? Why the fuck are you even bringing it up? You Ching Chang looking nignog. Fucking come on, fucking people. But I think people like that should be slapped around a little bit. I think they're fucking idiots, to be perfectly honest. I think they're just as fucking retarded as I sound, saying how retarded they are. Why? Because it's petty. It's useless. There's really, I don't see a reason for it except to invoke the idea of the word nigger in someone's mind, because you want someone to say nigger. You say, don't say the N word, and we know that when we're told not to do something, yeah, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna do it till we're fucking, the balls are out. Don't put your hand over that fire. Don't punch yourself in the head. Don't tell me don't tell me what to do. Don't listen to yourself. Sometimes. No, always listen to yourself. Don't listen to other people. I mean, I don't even understand the concept of those conversations. Why do black people need to talk about the racistness of the words Ching Chang? What is the point of it? You can't even get over the fact that you don't even like the fact that you're called nigger. And what is a nigger, by the way? Let's get into the word nigger, because honestly, I want to overuse this word. Nigger means black. That's what black people are called. Black people were called in the olden days. They still call themselves today, and what some people still call them nigger. And which is a derivative from Negro, which I think they're kind of almost the same thing. Negro, nigger, it's the same thing. But Negro, what is that? It's black. It means black. Okay? And in the ancient times, in Egypt, where we was kings, Egypt was once known as Kemet. Kemet means black land, the land of the black, instead of black soil. And maybe talking about the people, because if you look into especially like the Dogon race, who are also people who live in Egypt, who still live in Egypt, and they are the descendants of the Egyptian people, whether they're not, they were the descendants of the we was kings, but they are descendants of the Egyptian people. They look like Aborigines, and they still use hieroglyphics, and they still practice the way of life that was practiced back then, but in a much smaller scale. They're actually a very advanced race, and they know a lot about astrology or astronomy, as well as astrology. There's a cave in one of the Dogon towns that has like a 7,000-year-old depiction of the orbital path of the star Sirius B, I believe. It's actually quite interesting, very fascinating, because people knew about the stars and celestial bodies and the luminaries. It's very interesting. But those people are black as night. They're black as hell. So what do I think when I think of the word nigger? I think of black man from the black land. I think black people today stole it. I don't think they're real niggers at all. I think a real nigger. I think I'm more nigger than any self-proclaimed nigger out there, because I don't think they even know what it means. They use it as a derogatory term, just like the Nazis used or people put this negative connotation on the swastika because the Nazis used it. But in reality, most people don't even know what the swastika means. I know that you do have those few people who, well, it's a Hindu symbol that means eternal peace, whatever the fuck it means. Yeah, it does. It still does. Even for the Nazis, that's what it meant. It was just part of a design. That's like looking at those old World War II propaganda posters and denouncing the American flag because you don't like that it's part of propaganda. I mean, that's what the fucking flag is. When America finally crumbles, and I hope I get to see that day, when the governments of the world all crumble. That's like saying, stars and stripes, those are evil symbols. We can't ever display those again. Which I'm sure there's some asshole who's going to think that way. Same thing with like the Confederate flag. It's racism. Get the fuck out of here. It's fucking racism. You don't even know what the fuck racism is. You racist fuck. You're the racist one. It's amazing how I saw this other woman on Twitter the other day. This shit drives me nuts, and I don't know how it fucking keeps finding me. Maybe I keep finding it. Something about white people and how white people killed all the people who didn't like white people. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You're saying all the white people, the white man killed anyone who didn't like the white man, which is why the white man is so superior to all the other races. And I say, well, if you want to think white people are superior, that's up to you. But as a white man, personally, I don't think I'm any more superior than you are. So you can consider me superior if you'd like. Then she got all bent out of shape and told her to fuck herself. But I don't deal with that shit. I don't like human stupidity. And I know, but this is kind of going back to what I was saying about being addicted to negativities. I like to go onto places like Twitter and the Facebook and to get fucking mad at people because it teaches me how to not get mad. That makes sense. Like what I'm doing is perfectly honest. What I'm doing is kind of like a social experiment. I'm understanding human psychology based on the internet. Because that's where you get that's where reality happens. That's real life right there. You want to know what somebody really thinks? You go on their fucking Twitter page. You're gonna find out everything about them, or their Facebook page. You know everything, even the lie. What we consider lies. Well, social media is full of fake stuff. Nah, it's really not. That's where people put all the shit that they want to express. That's them. That's them. You know, you may not like the fact that they have a happy, fun family, but that's because you don't. My mother complains about that shit all the time. Look at these fucking people. They're happy. They're fake. No, you're just mad because you're fake. That's what it is. You're mad because you don't take pictures like that. You're mad that you don't have experiences like that. But you fucking do it yourself, so don't fucking complain to anybody but yourself. And I'm not just singling my mother out on that. I'm talking about everybody that's like that. Because I used to be like that. I know I still, I don't have any friends on Facebook because I don't want to have friends on Facebook. I don't want to know anybody anymore because you don't interest me. Your human life is like so obsolete and unfulfilling. I can't ever go back to that shit. I like to hear about it. You can tell me about it, I guess, and I can learn from the experience of what you've experienced, and then go, oh yeah, no, I've done that before. I've been there. I know what the fuck that's like. That sucks. Sucks for you, pal. Sucks for you, pal. You know, I didn't say that. I mean, I'm way more realistic than that. I'm actually a much nicer person to talk to. Maybe that's the problem. I'm a nice person to talk to. Nice comes from the Latin word necius, which means ignorant. Maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm acting fucking ignorant by being nice to people. Let's be a fucking jerk off. Look you. Look you fucking idiots. That's what I'm thinking. If it's what I'm thinking, then it's what I need to say. Fuck you fucking idiots. You fucking dumb shits. You fucking lazy piece of shit, lazy motherfuckers. You sit on your ass all day and you fucking complain about all the people who fuck you over. You complain about all the things that you're not doing with your life. But when your day's off, what are you doing? You're sitting around fucking with your dick in your ass, watching TV, complaining about people, looking at your fucking phone. Do something fucking constructive with yourself. You have a dream, go fucking follow it. What the hell's holding you back? Nothing's holding you back. You're holding yourself back. What's my dream? This is my dream. This is my motherfucking dream. I'm doing it. I'm living it. I'm a fucking psychic. I can see the future, read your mind, read tarot cards. I can fucking eat your soul for breakfast if I really fucking wanted to. I'm doing exactly what I wanted to be. I am the Antichrist. I'm not even joking when I say that I'm the Antichrist. In terms of the archetypal characteristics of that particular person. In that the little horn, he called a little horn because he will be born in of meager means, modest means. As Christ said, the meek shall inherit the earth, and he's going to lead them in some way, some capacity. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But the Antichrist is just the opposite of Christ, the anti-Christ. And what was Christ? Christ was the Son of God. He was this embodiment of the spiritual teacher. And what's the Antichrist? The Antichrist is the physical embodiment of that person. If the people who say, oh, Christ was a man, there was no Jesus or Yeshua or whatever fucking name you want to call him, that guy was actually a person walking around town and going, hey, man, spirituality, dude. It's like that guy, that's the Antichrist, because he's not God, he's a man, because that's what Christians worship Christ as, God. But he's not a God, he's a man. And that energy, that Christ energy, that spiritual anointing is here in the heart chakra, which is why Christ was always talking. You always see the picture of Christ with the Sacred Heart. That's what the Sacred Heart is. It's the heart chakra. It's opening your heart to source, to God, allowing that energy to come through to you, and that's all it is. That connection, that enlightenment that comes with it. But the deeper you go with into metaphysics, and we get into things like the Hermetic principles, as above, so below, as within, so without. God that we worship out there is simply the God that resides in here, as that divine spark of that consciousness, that greater consciousness, that greater being also resides in us, because that's what gives this little monkey suit its will to live. That will to live is not a will, it's that, but just in a smaller form in here. And we all have it. It's all part of us. Think of existence as like an inverted dome, right? And the ground is actually the inside of that dome, and then we're just people walking around, and everything, not just people, but trees and dogs and cats and roads and sticks and all this shit. We all have this little etheric light that leads to the center. It's like this little cord that goes to the center of this sphere that we're in, and it's just this little speck of light. That's your God. That's your divine all being that feeds us all with our thoughts and our fears and our emotions. because we're all going through the exact same thing. If you like talk to people, like, and that's why these work the way that they do. That's why you can be general about them, and I can pull the same cards, and they'll mean the same thing to different. They'll mean different things to different things to different people. It all depends on how you interpret it. So Sabbat, this is another one. This witch riding around a goddamn goat, baby on her back. She's a goddamn witch. And what Sabbat's about is surrounding yourself with positivity, surrounding yourself with the things that you'd like to be around, family members, friends, who like-minded people who will help encourage you and help you grow. Now that's a great thing. That's great. Because you don't want to be around people who talk like you. That's the fucking problem. If you're around people who talk like you, then you're just in an echo chamber, which is not, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with being in an echo chamber. I think it's actually a pretty good thing. It's the antithesis of that. It's when people who don't agree with us, the people that rub us the wrong way, those are the ones that are going to give us the most growth. It's like my mother and I, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. I think it's also because we just have we don't understand each other as well as we like to think that we do. And so because of that, there's some friction, and that friction leads to growth. Because yesterday, I mean, we've got heated with each other a few times, yeah, but you know what? I feel like that kind of strengthened a little bit of the relationship between the two of us. Lesson from it? What did I learn from it? What I learned is that my mother's not there to hurt me. She's not intentionally trying to hurt my feelings. She is, she has her own way of being, just like I have my own. And though they don't gel well together, but that's the nice thing about it, is because I don't want to be gelling with her more than I need to, because then that's going to make me want to stay here forever. And I don't want to stay here forever. And maybe that's really the ultimate, the real lesson is that I don't want to be here. I want to be on my own. I want to get the fuck out of here, but I need to monetize, and that's where I need to learn how to sell. And I feel like that's something I need to get back to, but I'm kind of like holding off because I don't think I need to just yet. See, the book I'm reading, it's actually a pretty good book, and I've only got through the first chapter. Well, the first chapter in the intro. The intro was actually really amazing. It was probably the most inspiring thing I've read in a while. It was all about the nature of sales. And I'm not a salesman per se. I never did sales, and I don't know how to sell. I'm not a business person in the least. But I know I can teach myself, and I know I'll be the most successful businessman ever, just without anyone's help. I mean, books, but whatever. I'm interpreting it the way that I want to interpret it. That's my thing. But so my big takeaway for like the intro was, what did he say? Everything's a sale. And he's right. Everything is a sale. I never even thought of it like that. Going back to the Hermetic principles, there's a principle called the principle of polarity. And what it means is that everything in the universe has a set of poles. It has a positive and a negative aspect. So think of it like a thermometer. Thermometer represents temperature. On one end you have hot, the other end you have cold, and in the middle you have neither. You got just that's that base point, 0 degrees. But for every degree of heat, there is an equal degree of cold. So without 100 degrees Fahrenheit, you can't have negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and vice versa, and 200 and negative 200 and so on. So what he was explaining with, and that's funny because he wasn't explaining any of this in the book. It's just how I know these universal, this metaphysics is just the way he was explaining sales was he was using terms that I could relate to what I know to understand what he knows. So when he was saying sales, everything's a sell because you're selling everything. Not just being a salesman working at a place to sell things. You're selling yourself always in everything that you do. Look at a priest who's selling God. Look at What are the other examples? Go to the boardwalk, amusement park, carnival. Those people, the carnies who are trying to get you to play all the stupid games, they're selling you the experience, the chance of winning, the excitement. And just like with the priest who's selling you God, a chance of salvation and understanding of something more than yourself. And then you have people like car salesmen who are trying to sell you a car because they're greasy motherfuckers because they want to make some money. Because that's what they do. They go and they sell stuff. That's my job. I sell stuff. Oh, real estate. That's a really good fucking idea. Why? I gotta write that down. I keep on forgetting that. And in that, I was thinking about that whole concept of everything is a sale. And what's today? It's Thursday. It's Thor's Day, by the way. Thor's Day. Thursday is named after the god Thor. It's associated with the Roman god of Jupiter, who is represented on the planet Jupiter in astrology. The 7 days of the week are named after the 7 luminaries. 9, 19, 19. 3, 4. 1 second. So everything's a sale, and if everything's a sale, everything is a sale, then we're always selling. We're selling to the people that we know. We're selling to our job. We're selling to our potential girlfriends and boyfriends. We're selling ourselves to our children to listen to us. And we're good parents. We're selling ourselves to fucking everything. And it's either you're making a sale or you're not making a sale. But there's a million degrees in between. And what this book's about is learning how to navigate those. But here's the beautiful thing is that you can relate anything to anything else. So just because he's going to go through his little, what's it called, straight line program, it doesn't mean that it's going to be like 100% legit and worth what I need it for, not going to be worth what I need it for. That's not to say that at all. But there are going to be gems of wisdom inside of it that are totally going to be worth it. For instance, everything's a sale. I didn't even think of that. I didn't know that's just a simple concept because I did try to promote myself as a business for a time, and I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to be a businessman. I don't know about business. But then hearing, for some reason, those words, everything is a sale, just seemed to resonate really well with me. And it seemed like, I thought of it like this. If everything's a sale, and you can't sell yourself, how are you supposed to sell anything else? If I want to sell my product, which is me, how am I going to do that? How do you sell yourself? You sell yourself just by being yourself. People want it, they'll take it. If they don't want it, they won't. Which goes back to the woman who victimized me, the woman with the Reiki healing, because I asked her if what I did was I wanted to try an experiment. I reached out to a couple people to sell myself with, and what I'm trying to do is accomplish a way that I can get what I want without having to pay for it, but not with money, but with my skills and what I can do. And what I had reached out to her about was, I would like to show you what I can do in exchange for, and show you what I can do so that you can use it for yourself in exchange for training on Reiki. Because though I can do Reiki, I can do it very easily. It's very simple. You don't even need any kind of actual training. And then attunement stuff, you don't need it. But I'll do it right now. Just Reiki on. That's really it. I can feel the energy kind of flowing through me, and it's going to you. Now you have to understand that to be receptive of Reiki healing, that you must also believe in Reiki healing. And if you know it's going to work, then it's going to work. If you don't think it's going to work, it's not going to work. But what it's going to do is bring up maybe emotional triggers and just something in your life that you've been not wanting to look at. Maybe now it's going to pop up. But that's really where the healing process comes in. And with me, I just know how to recognize it. I mean, realistically, it's all there. I mean, what I'm doing, this is just going to make you maybe a little bit more aware of it when it happens, but it was going to happen whether I did this or not. I mean, it's not fake, but it's not real. It's like in between. It is what it is. You'd experience the same. Well, I think you would experience the same situation had I not given you some Reiki healing. This is Reiki 2, by the way, distance healing. But I also have Reiki 3 because now you can do it. You don't need to go to any training. Boom. You're certified master. Just like that. You just know it works. That's it. Close your eyes. Do what you need to do to connect. Reiki on. That's it. Now I can do it with my eyes open, my hand with my mouth movement. I feel it. I can feel it in my hands. You can feel the energy coursing through my arms, coming out of my hands, going to you. And plus, this is timeless too, by the way. I mean, this energy, the energy connection is not just with my hands, but also with my voice as well, my words. So anyway, I talked to this woman, and she was actually really cool. Like we talked for maybe 20 minutes, half hour, and she was like totally into everything I was saying, and I was really excited to meet her. She even brought like a job, potentiality of having a job, but she wanted to know a little bit more about me, so I directed her here, which was probably a big mistake. But what happened was she hit me up the next day and she's like, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do that. Actually, hold on, let me see exactly what she said. Because it was actually pretty fucking weak, if you ask me. For a Reiki master to bitch out like this. And I'm venting now. Oh fuck yeah, I'm venting. Because she's a fraud. I have no doubt about that. She doesn't know shit about what she's doing. And perfectly honest, I believe that what freaked her out is that I'm just more open and honest, and I can talk and be who I want to be. And I've watched her videos, and she's just very fake on her videos. They're very scripted. They don't seem real. But what did she say? Hey Derek, I have decided against a trade, but if you would like to take training, let me know. Thanks. And that's not a problem. I respect the honesty. But I asked her afterward, I was like, well, what was it that turned you off? Because yesterday we were having this lovely conversation, and now you're... No. Which didn't give me an answer. Not a real answer. I can't put my finger on it. I just don't do trades with strangers. What the fuck does that mean? Saying I'm strange? Are you saying I'm strange? Or what? I don't get it. And so with that, I kind of sent her this thing. I don't know if it was the nicest thing in the world. It's not supposed to be nice. That's the point. Not nice. Why do I keep saying nice? I don't know. Maybe it was my ego that was hurt a little bit. And I even said to her, maybe it was a little bit of humble pie that I needed. But we're reflections of each other, so enjoy a slice for yourself, because your place is just a dime a dozen, just like everyone else. You're no special. No more different than anyone else. You're just another healer. So, and it's all right, because you were a training course for me to see if I could sell myself, and I did not do it. But you're still talking to me, so I succeeded somewhere. But what is that? So what are you so mad about? It didn't work out, but like I said to her, it didn't work out for a reason, and maybe the reason it didn't work out is because I don't need it. Because my time would be better spent elsewhere. Because if I can teach myself Reiki, because it's just everything else. It's the same thing as all the other shit. It's like, I was talking to somebody the other day. They're like, it's all about like tea readers and card readers and oracle readers, or Then what the fuck else? Bones, all the shit. You can read anything. You can read anything, and then just look for something to read, because all you're doing is it's just like with any of these cards. You're just looking at it, and seeing what ideas it brings to your head. Like that one, that Agorist, bringing things in that you want and pushing away things that you don't want. But the more that you push away things that you don't want, the more that they come at you, because it's not about what you want, it's about what you need. That's a whole other story altogether. Is it though? Well, no, I think everybody can appreciate that. The only time we get what we want is when we have to pay, when we pay for it. And then when we finally get it, we don't want it anymore because we got the satisfaction of it real quick. Because we can't appreciate things. It's when you sit and you wait for things is when you get what you need, and then that's when you actually can appreciate what you have. For instance, my ability to read the cards. Like, this was something that took me a long time to learn how to do. Not a long time. I've only been doing this for a year and a half now, and I'm already better than anyone else I know. No, I'm not going to tell you if Johnny's going to come and call you tonight or ask you out on a date. It's irrelevant. But what I'm going to tell you is that there's some shit in your life that you need to move out. There's some aspects that don't make you happy, that you want, that you're trying to look at, or you're too afraid to look at. But you're so hurt, you're so victimized that it's hard for you to accept that this thing that you knew, that you're very familiar with, that you're very comfortable with, is no longer serving you the way that it should. And there's an aspect of you that wants to get away from it, that wants to get surrounded by people who actually understand you for a fucking change. But you don't know where to go, because it doesn't seem like there's anyone who understands you, because everybody is very judgmental. But I guess that goes with the law of attraction, where what you want, when you embody what it is that you want, what you want comes to you. There's a gentleman on YouTube, Infinite Waters, who said something very wise, very long time ago, that struck a chord with me, and it was that when you know what you want to do it. Not necessarily talking about a job, but use cards for instance. You want to read cards for a living? You want to make this your life? Go and do it. Pick up cards, start reading them. And it's really interpreting them. It's not really reading them. You're not reading anything. Well, you're reading it with your mind. It's a whole different story. It's a long story. Do it. Just continue doing it. Do it always and always and always and always. Even if you have another job, bring your cards to work. Start shuffling cards in between on your lunch breaks and all this other shit. And eventually, it's going to become your life. As soon as you master it, it becomes your life, and you'll start to notice yourself doing it more and more and more. Now you're starting to read cards for other people and yourself and everybody around you. And next thing you know, your life is consumed by these goddamn things. And once your life has become consumed by it, it is now your life. That's it. What do? I'm a writer. I'm a reader. I'm a creative savant in terms of mental capacity and mental creativity and my writing creativity and the creativity that's inspired by other things and other people and other works. That's funny. That's funny that this guy popped up, because this was something too that I needed to get off my chest. Is my mother's husband, which I was actually kind of pissed off about that. Because yesterday he came home. I was in my room. I've been spending a lot of time in my room lately, just kind of like lying in bed, spending my time on the internet, reading and doing my research, which is just like my cards. I don't really do the cards too often. I don't like use them for guidance, but what I do is I like to think. I like to read. I like to analyze my experiences on a day-to-day basis, the things that are in my head on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes I'll lie in bed and for about maybe an hour or two and just meditate, which I should probably do very soon. And what that allows me to do is I just allow my mind to go. I allow my mind just to go wherever the fuck it wants. Show me anything that it wants. I believe in the statement, well, I coined the statement that people who tell you to not overthink, they don't want you to think, because if you think, then you'll realize why you don't need them, and people don't like that. So these past couple weeks, I've been spending a lot of time by myself and taking my power back from everybody, because a lot of people, they'd like to hang out with me. I don't blame them, because I'm a great listener. I'm very enjoyable to talk to. I'm very entertaining. Very wise for my age as well. Wise beyond my years. Incredibly wise beyond my years. And I take pride in that, because it took me a long time to get to that point. And I feel that I've earned and deserve the right to blow myself as much as I want, because if my dick can reach my mouth, then I deserve to suck it. More than anybody else. Because I'm the one who got it there. I'm number one. I'm the boss. I'm the dad. I'm the ruler of the kingdom. I'm the king of the castle. Maybe not this castle, but this castle right here. And all that I see is my domain. Fuck that. I'm not a Leo for no reason. There's a reason why the heart chakra, Christ, is represented by the sun and by the zodiac Leo, because the sun is the only luminary that rules. Well, the only sign that is ruled by the sun is Leo, and it's all no coincidences. Everything fucking happens for a reason. Got it? Bullshit. So, in doing so, spending that time by myself, allowing my mind to go wherever the fuck it wants, what it does is it opens me up to avenues of thought and consciousness that were not originally there. And it's hard to explain. So imagine that you have some things that you're dealing with on your own, some issues, whatever they be. Think whatever your problems are. And don't even think of it as problems anymore, because problems don't exist. There's no such thing as a problem. How do I know this? Because every problem is its own solution. Remember that. You can use that. It's my thing. I coined it, but I'd like to get that shit away. Like, people just sound smart. Think of any problem that you have in your life, and the solution for it is actually right in the problem. The problem is the solution. And sometimes it's not. Yeah, you can always do, well, now I know not to go into that situation. Where it's more than that. What did you get out of the situation? Yeah, it was a problem, but why was it a problem? What did you learn from it? What did you really learn from it? Nothing. Nothing can exist. Nothing isn't real. There's some deeper aspect of yourself, some growing, some soul enhancing experience that you got out of that was worth more than just nothing. I don't like to talk to people who are blonde. Something stupid like that. Oh, black people eat watermelons. What the fuck are you talking about? Come on. I'm not talking about the watermelon thing. I'm just, in general, it's that superficial, surface level lesson that we get from the shitty little experiences that we have. We don't appreciate the shit for what it really is, for the good that it's worth. Because even the worst situations have something to offer. Dropping a bowling ball on your foot is more. There's deeper aspects of that than what we can really surmise just from going, oh, well, now you know not to hold a ball over your fucking foot. Yeah, well, you know that, but you also have learned that you can't blame the ball for causing your problems. You are the one who dropped the ball. But now look at it in deeper aspect. What other areas of your life have you dropped the ball in? Drop the ball. What I mean. Marriage, relationship, kids, your job. Oh, you know. But see what I mean? That dropping of the ball aspect is, yeah, that experience that fucking sucked. Wouldn't have happened if you didn't drop the ball. You were the one who put that thing over your foot, and you let go of it, whether it was an accident or not. It's probably a subconscious, done on purpose, subconsciously. That's a whole different fucking. That's a big thing right there. That's if you believe in like past life karma, and you want to get into like astrology and the lessons that we need to learn on our soul's path and all that shit. Which, yeah, you can get into all that stuff too, and it's all very real, and it's all very profound, and it's all very deep and fucking really awesome. There's a science behind it that is beyond the scope of what most people can really comprehend in their lives, and I think we get lost in trying to avoid those things because they're very deep, and I know that it's easier to ignore the depths of our experience for how do you say it, for the superficial, for the mundane. It's easier. It's easier to go to work and come home and watch TV and do nothing than it is to actually go out and try to be something and be more than what you are, to be more than just a fry chef, to be more than just a tooth maker, to be more than just a supervisor or a chef or a masseuse or the manager of a supermarket or the assistant to the general manager of a restaurant, to be the like, or more than someone who sells clothes or someone who gets laid for a living or just whatever the fuck people do. Doing the things that you want. I mean, who knows? Maybe that is what you want to do. Maybe you want to be a fry chef. I mean, SpongeBob was happier than a pig in shit working at the Krabby Patty, which I think is a valuable lesson. Because I think in that respect that we're all doing what we want. But again, like I said earlier, I'm an anomaly. Programming doesn't work for me. I need to readjust the programming. But the only way in order to do that is to get into a position where that I can change the programming. And that's to be a programmer. I want to create an AI. This is a thought that I had, programming. See, but that's what I mean, is the societal programming and the mental programming that we all go through. I mean, it's relatable to computer programming, which is probably a really good idea to get into, understanding the logic behind it, because I'm more emotionally driven, and I think logic is something that I miss out on a lot. Which is actually true, because that was part of the section of the book that I'm reading right now, was emotion versus logic. Programming. And you know, programming, that's something I've been talking about for a while too. I used to do a little bit of computer programming in college, took class. Too bad. That's why I was laughing before I pulled this card out before. It was making me think of something. It was actually making me think of what I was saying before about as above, so below, as within, as without. That here's the little guy, but then you have the little God who's living inside of him, and then you have the big God who's living outside of him. And then you have man. This is the microcosm to the macrocosm. The law of analogy, that the God in here, this little guy, is a reflection of the God outside. This big guy out here. That's how I'm just interpreting it. That's not exactly what this card means. That's what it means to me. This is connection. This is connecting to source. This man is now his little God and his big God they're a part of him. It's like me. That's tower reading. That's real tower reading right there. So how would that relate to you? This is like almost saying that we're on our path, that we're done. Well, going back to what I was saying before, that I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing. And I say we because there's two of me in here. There's two of all of us, but we hide one. One is hidden. It's a matter of unlocking that aspect of ourselves. And this card is a full representation of that. Oh, I get it too. Because this is more than that too. This is also unity itself, in that this little you. This is the reflection of your external God. But then also what I see from this is this, his body is made up of this face. This is the egoic mind, the one that's attached to the physical realm, while this one is more of the God that's attached to the emotional and intuitive realms. Interesting. But again, I mean, that all means the same thing, that connection to this self-awareness of what we really are. in the grand scheme of things of not just spirituality, because it's not. I hate that fucking word because I'm not a spiritual person. Yeah, I wear a Shadarshan necklace. I have a turquoise ring, and I have my rings of power on. But I'm not a spiritual person. I do believe in magic and all that shit. And energy, energy plays a really big part in everything I do. Energy healing, like you said, like the Reiki I was doing before. Like I'm not fucking around. I really do believe in all this shit. I mean, these cards are fucking potent for how do you say, mental healing, healing your mind, freeing your mind from the fucking struggles and the chains that are wrapped around it. Matrix. Go back and watch the fucking Matrix. It'll change your goddamn life. Oh my god. Come on. The cards, they tell a story. And I just got a really big story. So in order to see, right now we're in the middle of like releasing, getting rid of like old emotional baggage. See how this flower rose down and the petals falling off. What I'm seeing from here is loss. This is sadness. This is someone sulking. This is regret. This is death. But we also know that through death is where we get rebirth, and that once we allow ourselves to feel and lose and be sad, is when we learn to let go of that shit that was holding us back. And we can realize that, yeah, you know what, we were feeling bad. That was a bad feeling, but right now my cup is overflowing. Look, all these cups are pouring into each other. This is emotional fulfillment at its finest. That it's through that loss and through this pain and letting go of the past that we find fulfillment and emotional happiness. Once we allow all of that negative energy to be released. And what brings us emotional fulfillment is love of another. Lovers, these two motherfuckers flying around. But lovers don't necessarily mean a partner. I mean, it can be. But the greatest partner you're ever going to find is with yourself. And when you learn to accept that's when we're moving on. We're moving forward. The chariot is moving forward in time and space. See where it came from? From that little came blasting forward, moving forward, charging forward in life, allowing himself to be guided by his intuition, and ultimately finding what it is that he's looking for, which is the Mother of Cups. That feminine energy of love and bullshit. That's why I like cards. Like, see how easy that is? Like, that was just from like kind of flipping through them real quick, and you kind of put that story together in my head. It's but that's how it works. It's unique for everybody. Everybody reads them differently. Well, a lot of people read them the same because they don't know what they're doing, so they just do what they're told. But for me, it's story time. Justice. Vindication is really what I'm seeing there, because a lot of the times, a lot of the people in my life, they and yeah, this is something I've been holding on to very deeply. See this card, hold on to that egg. Yeah, this is some shit that I keep to myself. But you know what, I'm fucking sick and tired of the people I live with. I'm sick and tired of the people in my life, everybody, from my fucking jerk off kid to my jerk off mother to my piece of shit sister to my little bitch brother, like all of them. Like nobody. And I don't give a fuck. Everyone's got their own fucking shit that they've got to deal with. So do I. That's why I'm allowed to say shit like this, because I got my own shit to deal with too. And I got to fucking vent. But it's like nobody fucking listens. Nobody wants to pay attention. My fucking mother's telling me I got to get a fucking job. Are you fucking retarded? Are you fucking retarded? Really? Are you retarded? I mean, are you a fucking retard? I mean, I've been here for a fucking year. I don't know if you realize I've written 10 books while I've been here. I've mastered the art of divination. I've mastered fucking Reiki. You're gonna go pay fucking $3,000 to go fucking take a Reiki class when I fucking learned it in fucking 2 days? What do you want to ask for? Seriously. It's not fucking magic. You just stick your hands out. I did it. Boom. Reiki healing. It's easy. It's simple. They're cards. We're gonna shine some fucking light on this fucking shit. We're gonna bring out all those dark emotions, shining light onto that negativity that's sitting within us. You see what I'm doing now? That releasing of this negative energy, shining light on the dark so that it's evaporates. People in the fucking spiritual community, they're like, don't look at the darkness. The darkness is bad. Fuck you, you fucking twiddly twat. You don't even know what you're doing. You're getting yourself mixed up with some bullshit that's gonna fuck you up because you're pushing in all that bad shit. You are in for a fucked up ride because however long you've been doing that shit is bottling up and it's going to you. I can't even imagine how much you must fucking cry at night. I hope so. If you don't, you're fucked. Because I've seen how dark this shit can get. I know how low this can go. Because in my spare time, I also do exorcisms. Not only on other people, but I do them on myself. Most effectively on myself. And what I allow myself to do is to go to depths that the average human being will not go to. That cannot go to. You can't. Because you need drugs. You need to look at things and say things that are so ugly, so dark, so vile that you're all alone. You know no one can relate. Because the shit that you're going to say is like so bad, in your own opinion, but it's only as bad as you allow yourself to believe it is. For instance, I hate admitting this, pedophilia. I have to make myself think of pedophilia sometimes. And I don't enjoy it. And I don't even like talking about this. Because you cannot judge someone until you judge yourself. You cannot judge someone until you put yourself in their shoes. This is the ultimate virtual reality. Sometimes you have to take yourself to places that you will not ever want to go to. God fucking damn it. Think about shit that you don't want to think about. You want to know why? So you don't ever fucking do it. I'm not saying that I would ever do the pedophilia thing. Not into kids, fucking gross. But you can't not experience it here. I practice a form of manifestation that is unlike anything anyone else does. By releasing as deep and dark as shit as I can, what it does is it allows room for much more positive aspects of my desires to come through. Granted, it takes a lot of work. It's very difficult, very hard to do. Because, again, like I said, you got to look at things. Like I just fucking said. Do you know how grimy that is to admit that? Because, one, that's not normal. It's like fucked up. It's like fucking weird. Of course it is. But you got to get weird to get normal. And what I do is I allow myself, well, you know what? I mean, aside from that, I've also burnt the world down. I've murdered every single person I know. I've raped every single person I know. I've eaten every single person I know. I just go with all the weirdest shit that I could possibly think of because I feel that by allowing yourself to live your worst nightmares here, you can hopefully, in a sense, avoid living them out there. And I've learned that. I've found that. I feel a confrontation growing with somebody, if I allow myself to think it in my head, that I'll find a better way of approaching it so that I don't have to live that nightmare-ish vision that I had in my head. People fucking beating each other with bats. And yeah, even when you go into the situations, I had a friend recently who I thought he was kind of mad at me. I thought he was going to beat me up the next time I saw him. And kept on thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about this fight, thinking about this argument that we're going to have. And then finally, I found him, and he was fine. He was better than normal. He actually got himself arrested because he was acting like a goddamn fool because he's addicted to crack and started a fight with the wrong person. He got beat up and maced and picked up. But that's not my problem. I wasn't involved in that part. Even though when I look back, I can easily see how uh, my presence in the situation uh, led to that path. I have a saying that the future proves the past. Everything happens for a reason. Well, the future proves the past. You can look at your experience right this moment, and with a little bit of visualization, think about all of the things that led to this moment, all the significant events, and then once you can get past the significant events, then you look at the mundane events, and you can kind of build this roadmap of why you're here, how you got here, the checkpoints in between, and the things that you've learned along the way. And it's, in a sense, freeing. It's freeing in a way that you can see things that you wouldn't have seen before, connections and um, oh my God, if I didn't do this, then that wouldn't happen. And if that didn't happen, then that wouldn't have happened. That's what I mean by connections and a roadmap. Because everything happens for a reason. You got to remember that the reason that you're here is exactly the reason why you're here. It's everything happened exactly the way that it needed to for you to be exactly where you are at the moment that you're at. And no, 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 no. Nothing happens for a reason. It's all chaos. No, there's no such thing as chaos. Even chaos has a reason that it starts and has a reason that it ends. Uh, but this little resistance that I'm sensing, that's what I get off of her. Little bit of resistance. Like she knows. Like look at her face. Like she knows that what she's hearing is true. She just doesn't want it. She doesn't want to hear it. She's not ready for it. But again, I'm not the type to decide who's ready for what. I just say what comes to my mind. And unfortunately, little lady, you're gonna have to hear what I'm saying. Why do I think it's a lady? I don't know. I don't know. So I just get that impression. Very feminine features. I feel. I don't know. What do you think? I think it's a lady. I think it's a lady that's trying to go like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Tough shit. You gotta hear it. We all gotta hear it. There's a point in existence where um, you don't have a choice anymore. We like to give ourselves the choice of like, oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I want to do this. I don't want to do this. There comes a point where you don't have a choice. That it just happens. It happens and it goes, okay, ready or not, motherfucker, here you go. So, so that's why I try to pride myself in just speaking my mind because I believe that the concept of what you want to call God or whatever the fuck you want to call it is not only is it within us, but God speaks to us through others. And when I was saying earlier about that we are just reflections of the people that we interact with, that's exactly what it is. Don't try not to think of it as someone putting you down. Try not to think of it as your best friend fucking your wife just to hurt your feelings. No, imagine that as God trying to show you that this isn't the woman for you. Not meant for each other. Oh, that's a really good point. I never even thought of it like that, and that explains why my marriage failed the way that it did. And this little bit of harmony that's kind of flashing through my eyes right now. I feel this is why I like to talk because I can figure these problems out. And it's like I know, oh, me and my wife weren't meant to be together. No, but you didn't. You weren't living my life. You don't understand what it was that and what I've been going through, especially lately, thinking about that. I've been saying it like I don't think we were meant to be together, but everything happens for a reason. Things happen the way that they saying it, and everything happens for a reason. And everything happens for a reason and things didn't work out the way that you wanted them to, it's probably because they weren't supposed to work out. That things happen exactly the way that they needed to in order for you to make that realization with yourself. And the reason whatever I said about this guy is like, think of it more, looks like he's playing an instrument of some sort to me. And this is kind of how, like, with cards like this, if I don't really know the meaning, I'll try to explain it to myself. We'll see how this relates to everything happening for a reason. And so how I can make it relate to that, at least. So that's the point. As long as if you can think it true, it doesn't matter. These cards in the booklet that came with these cards, it specifically said there's no meaning to them. It's whatever you want them to mean. So we have a guy who's playing what appears to be an instrument. At least so I think. That's what I'm feeling from it. Some kind of instrument. And what is music but harmony? And harmony is when tones and vibrations come together in such a beautiful way that they make music. But music doesn't always have to be what we consider music, as in like a band playing instruments of guitars and drums and bass and singing. No, music can be so much more. We make sweet music together. Like we're making love together. We're making music. It's harmonizing. It's two opposing forces coming together and to create something beautiful. And that's what this is. This man, he's using an instrument, something that's not him, that's not his own, with his creativity and his mind to make something that wasn't there before, but making something out of nothing. And in a sense, that's what I do. Like I was saying earlier, like I like to take the inspiration of other things. Like looking at this card, it inspired that thought. That thought was just created out of nothing, in a sense. Whereas just by looking at this thing, I mean, at the surface level, it's just a guy holding something. I don't know what the fuck it is, pulling his hand on it, doing something. But it's looking at it deeper. What does that mean? What does it mean to you? How does it make you feel? And I feel that this is the music maker card, the creator. He's taking what he knows and making something that no one else has before. And that's what I like to do. That's what I like to do with my words. I like to do with my thoughts. I like to think things that no one has ever thought before. Maybe not that they haven't thought before, maybe that they haven't expressed before. That's why I express myself the way that I do. This is my music. This is my tonality. This is my harmony. Is when my mind and my body and my spirit are all lined up in one, and that I can say the things that I'm saying. And they may not mean anything to anybody else. They may just mean something to me, but that's fine. That's all that they need to do. You see, they don't need to resonate with anybody else because they resonate with me. But here's the thing, is that being that they resonate with me, they're going to resonate with anyone. So I know that no matter what, and I get a little bit of goosebumps saying that. That's pretty cool. Everything happens for a reason. That. And I've said this in many other videos, is like, the reason I don't care about the one person that's been sitting here, not that I don't care about you, I really do appreciate that you're staying here that long. I hope so. I wish you would interact more. I'm kind of bored. But the point is that this is about me. This is my self-love. This is my self-care. By not getting the attention that I want in the outside world, no, I get it here. I give it to myself because I deserve the attention. Other people don't deserve my attention as much as I do. Energy flows where your attention goes. My attention is going directly into me. Like I said, I'm a narcissist, and I love attention. And being that I'm giving myself 100% attention right now, I'm doing exactly what it is that I was put on this goddamn planet to do, which is feed myself an unlimited amount of energy because I have a lot. And now, normally what I would do is I would go out for a walk and I would just talk to myself a lot. But the thing I like about this is I can see myself too. So it's literally I'm having a conversation with somebody. And though I'm visually making the words, I'm watching this guy talk to my ears. So it's actually kind of cool. And while I'm talking to him, my brain is now processing the information while my one mind is processing the information while my other mind is feeding me the words to say, in a sense. You got to be inside my brain to understand that one. Which I guess, in a sense, is what we're doing right now, getting a sense of who I am and what I think. And my ideas of enlightenment, because that's really what enlightenment is. I mean, it's finding your own path. It's not what somebody is going to tell you. It's not something you're going to find in a book. You're not going to find enlightenment in a book. You never will. You're not going to find enlightenment through me. And maybe you will. You know what? Actually, you probably will find more enlightenment through me than you will through any other monk or whatever fucking person or joker that you find out there. Not to say that they're not doing their job right, not to say that they can't teach you something, because everybody has something to learn from someone else. Even the Dalai Lama has something to learn from you that you can learn from him as well, equally. That you can learn equally from him. This guy kind of inspired that thought, but same thing. That learning from one another, his enlightenment, and what he's showing you. This man's a teacher, because he's not just doing this for himself. He's showing you something. He's showing you that the power that lies within you, opening up his third eye in order to say, "Come, you can do this too. Pay attention." Because it's all very simple. See, all he's doing, he's just is learning to just it's all good. No worries. Everything's going exactly the way that it needs to go. All the energy in the planet is flowing exactly the way that it needs to be flowing. Remember, everything. Think of yourself as the catalyst for all things, and that snap of a finger to somebody is then going to set off a chain reaction of reactions and reactions and reactions that are going to reverberate throughout all of time and space because of that one moment that you created. That's a little bit about magic. Well, that's kind of like the basic fundamentals of magic too. Is abracadabra. I speak as I create. I create as I speak, and that initial charge of energy that you put out into existence is then going to create the experiences that are going to lead from that moment. Karma, the experiences of today, the energy that you put forth today, are the catalysts for the karmic experiences that you have tomorrow. Someone posed a really good question on Twitter one day. I said, are you prepared to face the consequences of your actions today in 10 years? Of course not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing the things that you're doing today. Because if you knew what was going to happen, you know why you don't want to experience it. Let me word that. You know how to do everything the right way. You wouldn't want to do anything because you also know where everything's leading. So it's like, why waste the time? That's just where it's going. I'll just sit here and wait for it because it's coming no matter what. No matter what I do, I'm just putting myself out there, just training myself for the time that it comes. But by the time it comes, I'm going to be ready for it anyway. So it doesn't matter because of everything that goes into it. Because the choices are already made in our lives. Everything that we're going to do has already been done. When I say that my guide is the future version of me, the reason I say that is because, yeah, of course, the future version of me can read minds on command. The future me can see the future, can see the past. Well, the past is very easy to see. Seeing the future is also very easy. Well, it's a little difficult. You have to know how to do things. You have to have a lot more control. I'm working on this still. I don't have enough control. Soon I'll have enough control. You have to control the people around you as well. I mean, it all cycles out from here out into the world around you. I mean, the people around me, I can't talk to them like this yet because I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I'll start that tonight. Maybe I'll just start that tonight. I'm just going to start talking like this because there's no reason for me not to. Because I'm fully capable and actually smarter than everyone else I know, and that's fine. I'm allowed to be. I'm humble. I don't throw this shit in people's faces, but I'm not shy of it either. If you try to encroach on me in any way, shape, or form, I'm not afraid to stick my foot up your ass if you get me. And that's kind of like, and it's funny that I even brought this up because this card actually reminds me of like Mother Mary, Mother Mary, Virgin Mary, Mary. I don't know why she reminds me of it, especially with that halo going around her head. I always envision that motherly figure, which makes me right now it's making me think of my mother specifically, because we were just talking about how the people I live with, which is my mother and her husband and my brother, is I don't really talk to them this freely, because most of the time people just want to talk. They don't want to shut the fuck up, which I think is my new catchphrase: just shut the fuck up if you want to talk to me, because I need to talk. And I got to get out of the habit of talking about this mundane bullshit, because but then again, I don't even know what the fuck these people want to talk about. I have nothing to talk to people about. This is stuff that's interesting to me. But who am I to say that it's not interesting to other people? Why would I think it's not interesting to other people? I don't know. Because they show no interest in it. But they don't show any interest in it because I don't talk to them about it, because it's almost as if I keep it to myself. Which in a sense I think I do. I hoard it all. I hoard all of my knowledge and my wisdom for myself. But I share it with people that I don't know. Why would I share it with people I don't know, but not the people that I do know? Because when I do try to share it with the people that I know, they can't handle it. They don't want to talk about it. They want to change the subject and look at their phones, and I don't feel the need to waste my time. But then again, I guess that's where growth comes from, in that maybe I should be more persistent in what I'm saying and go, hey, I'm the dad. Put the fucking phone down. I'm talking. And that's not a bad idea. Maybe I might do that, because I think people do that a lot. Is that an important call you're on? Then put that down, because that's rude. Is that text message? Is that something that you need to deal with right this second? No? Then put it down, because that's rude. Because I don't do that to you. Have some fucking respect. And I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair assessment of anything, really. I mean, you got to hear these two motherfuckers. Right? I'm trying to talk, and like I hear screaming upstairs, which is like fucking ridiculous. Maybe they're the one viewer I got. I can see that. 2 hours though, I don't think most people I know would be able to handle me for 2 hours. That's why I make these giant videos, because listen, the true disciple is going to go through all 100 million hours or whatever the fuck shit that I've done, if they really want to know how to get to the point that I'm at. Because you got to keep in mind, I can do anything. I can literally accomplish anything, because I have magic. I can do magic. I control the energies of the ether. I can see energy. I can see the flow of energy through the things that we do, the things that we say, the things that we act. And it's not like as dramatic as shooting a fucking kamehameha in your hands like this lady, but understanding how the energy that we release by having a conversation with somebody, by releasing out these thoughts, and even seeing the way that people act, seeing the way that they interact, and being able to control that within ourselves and redirect it in certain ways. Like I was saying earlier, people throw negative energy at you because they want something back. But if you can take it in, harness it, and create and allow yourself to go, oh, that felt good. Now redirect it somewhere else. You just changed the whole flow and direction of that energy. It's really an amazing thing. When you can conceptualize what exactly that means. And seriously, it's almost like doing a fucking kamehameha. And I'm glad this card came out exactly when it did, because it was perfectly aligned to what I'm saying. I think, at least, because that's just the way I see it. But like I said, you think it's real. And just because someone else is going to interpret this card a little bit differently than me doesn't mean that either one of us are wrong. We're both right, because there's no such thing as wrong. And that's kind of what I see with this woman is that understanding of the flow of energy. And I think, maybe that's something more along the lines of what I want to do. Learning how to teach magic, which is ultimately what I wanted to do. Is teach people, like start a school one day, like a charter school, I guess, where people. This card came out the other day, and that's good. this one, kind of opening up a little bit. So what am I opening up a bit about? I'm opening up towards like what is my goals, my dreams, my ambitions, and one of them is to eventually have a school like setting. I want to be a teacher of the knowledge and wisdom that I have because I have a lot. I have so much to offer. I wish people would see that. And maybe I'd start getting the goddamn respect I deserve. I deserve it. Believe me, I deserve it. The amount of shit that I put myself through, like walking away from my family and walking away from my home, and my house is about to be fucking sold by the bank in a couple weeks. I stopped paying the bills because I wanted to devote my life to this because I thought that I would be able to make the money to pay everything off and get everybody happy and make things the way that they should have been. But what I'm starting to come to understand is that the way things should have been are not the way the things that are going to happen because they weren't supposed to be that way. That's not how they should have been. They are exactly the way that they are because of the way that they are, and that's kind of like this, you know. You see that opening up. See what he's doing, opening his chest and revealing that light within him. Think of that as kind of what we're doing right now. We're sharing and opening up ourselves to be vulnerable. He's opening up that wound to show you that he's not afraid, to show you that he's weak. He's got weakness just like everybody else, just like you, just like me. Technically, I'm the one doing it, so. And I think this guy's almost like the same thing in a sense. Like this, I don't know. He's nurturing, he's holding something. I get the sense that he's like holding a heart, even though I think it's like a leaf pattern. But for some reason, what I feel from this is that it's almost like this person is holding that tender, emotional aspect of himself, and then he's nurturing it. He's trying to give it the love and tenderness that it needs, which you can equate that to self-love, which is exactly what we were kind of talking about before, which is all this like magic stuff it is, and healing is just giving yourself the time that nobody else does. It's being there for yourself more than anybody else has ever been there for you for your entire life. I am the most encouraging person to me ever because I know that everything I do is amazing. Everything I do is great. Everything I do is fucking awesome. I can't help it. I do really cool shit. I know how to do cool shit. And I think that intimidates a lot of people because people see what I can do and then I think I expect them to do the same thing, even though they can. I think anybody can do it. Anyone can do any of this stuff. It's very simple. There's nothing difficult to looking at a card and telling somebody what you're feeling. Unfortunately, we've kind of trained ourselves to shut back, shut down when it comes to comes down to who we are. Just about it. Surround yourself with family. That might be telling me to go upstairs and say hi to my mom. But I don't know what fuck it is. She's pissed. So I'm just gonna leave it. I don't leave that bitch alone. Hey, listen back up. Okay. There's a lot of bad energy up there, and it's fucking sinking. See, now, what I'm hearing is the echoes of that conversation that she's having, which she's losing her shit on. That is bad energy hunting me down. It's enticing me to go up there to deal with this. I'm not going to do it because it's not my bad energy to deal with, even though I want to taste it so badly. Because it is divine. I love negative energy. Because I can transmute it. That's why I love it so much. Because I can help somebody get out of a bad mood very easily. People don't normally get into a bad mood when I'm around because there's no reason to. Because I take it all in. Because I don't react. I allow myself to shut down. Not shut down, but be generous. I feel like I should go see what's going on. But at the same time, fuck it. People need me, they come and get me. My philosophy. This is the lead bear. The lead bear. Let me go see what's happening.